Welcome to the Suzane Northrop Show, where the spirit world comes alive.
Hey everyone, we're thrilled to be here. You got actually four of us because it's two Geminis. Anyway, so welcome. We've done this Mother's Day show several years, and I think we missed it last year because I think Austyn was out of town, or I was out of town, or whatever, wherever we were. But anyway, so we just saw each other out in desert land, which was wonderful. I have to say, I had a great time. And we actually got to play, which we don't always get to do. So that was really nice. And anyway, so I got to see her fabulous house. We had a great time. But on top of that, we said, like, we were really excited to do our continuing Mother's Day show. And we're doing it in a whole way that we're used to, because we usually do it on blog. So now you actually get to see us face to face and next to each other, even though we're wearing the same colors. It looks like it's a different color. So there we are. But it's our Mother's Day show for anybody that is a mother, wants to connect with their mother, just wants to hear about other mothers, even if they're not your biological mothers, which I have talked about in depth, and Austyn has talked about in depth, because anybody who helps other people, it has that role, period. I don't care if you've got kids, you don't got kids, you don't want kids, doesn't matter. We end up doing that anyway. And for those of us, we have one Gemini you can't see in the middle that does have a kid. So, you know, we've covered it all. So thank you for being here. And I know we've got some Palm Desert people, we've got some Colorado people, we've got some out of the country people. And so I guess all they got to do is write their name, I guess, in the comment, correct? And if they come into the studio, I guess we do that with the bird, whatever it is. So again, there's a lot of you folks, and as you well know, for some reason, if you don't get a message, doesn't mean you don't get a message. You get a message in a lot of other ways. We got Washington, we got Texas, a lot of ways. Please listen to them, because you never know how they're going to come. Yay, Geminis, we got one on the right. So now we got about 20 of us in the room. So anyway, so welcome. And Ms. Wells, I don't know if you want to like start a little meditation thing, or you want to go into it. You tell me what you want to do. I'm open for that. I always like how you open up the show as well. And you know, and and you always do such a great job, and people love us together, and they haven't seen us in a while, so you know, they're thrilled. So.
First of all, I'd like to say hey to everybody that's joining today. Suzane and I are so touched that you're taking time out of your days to make a moment for your soul and for however you call infinite intelligence, divine, God, whatever that word is. Thank you so much. Please listen as the messages are given, just because sometimes someone will be receiving a message and you'll hear things that sound familiar to it, that are applicable to your life, your loved ones. Take it as a collective energy that's coming forward, and listen to that reading with an open heart, because you'll undoubtedly be getting like messages through that individual.
Right.
Let's absolutely. So many people are saying hello that I know very well. So I'm so grateful to all my peeps that are showing up, and all of you that are new to either Suzane or I, or however you're finding us.
Yeah, like I said, we have Chicago, we got Peach.
I know.
We got Canada, Washington State, yes, really, like Texas, Massachusetts, yay for our northeastern folks.
I know.
And, so in Boston and Brooklyn, yes, there you go, cool.
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
Yay, Brooklyn.
You notice how well Austyn says Brooklyn, being from the West Coast. You love it.
I honestly kind of wish I was from the East Coast. The best compliment I get is when people think I'm from the East Coast.
Yeah, well,
I take it as a compliment. But anyway, so to start things off, Suzane, let's do this, because we could talk about who we are and what we do. But you know what? I would rather spend the time gifting people messages and work in it, because I'm feeling ready and excited about this opportunity.
Okay.
So everybody, wherever you are, and please, if you're operating a motor vehicle, please do not go into meditation fully. Don't close your eyes. I think you know better. But please, in this moment, do me a favor. And just let's all take a collective breath in through the nose. And just hold it at the top of the breath. And exhale out the mouth. Take one more deep breath in through the nose. Hold at the top of the breath. And exhale out the mouth. Take a moment to drop into your heart. And just notice how your energy is feeling right now. You might feel a lot of excitement. You might feel spiritually amped. You might feeling a little depleted, but just take a moment to notice how you are doing today. There's a little emotion that comes up. Make a note to yourself to pay attention to that at some point today. Mother, Father, God, to the angels, archangels, ascended masters and guides, to the souls and spirit that are deeply and sweetly with us in everything that we do. Thank you so much for this opportunity for Suzane and I to step into the bliss of service that she and I are both so heart-driven by, to serve those that are here. We ask that everyone's send love and light to those that are receiving messages, and listen with your hearts for what is said today. We thank you so much for the messages that will be delivered. And we are ever so grateful for physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual healings that transpire in this time period that this is being recorded, as well as all time, since it will be perpetually and in perpetuity on YouTube, that anytime anybody watches this, they receive a healing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are ever so grateful. Amen and aham. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Thank you very much, everybody, for that moment. I appreciate it. Okay.
So one person just asked a question. This is just off the side.
Sure.
Can we see you if you're in the what do you call it? The comments? No, we cannot see you. We can only see your name and maybe where you're from if you write that. That's basically it.
Yeah.
I hope that helps to set that up here. Even though you can see us, and if we bring you into the studio, which we might just well do that, then everybody can sort of see you. The nice part about this, obviously, again, things are recorded. And so if you get a message, you can listen to it later. If you've been part of a message that you know, you also be able to listen to it later on. That's actually kind of one of the nice things of StreamYard, which, you know, I'm just starting to do because Blog Talk, of course, no longer lasts after I did that for about 15 years. So,
yeah.
So there you go.
And everybody, so just so you know what we're seeing, because it kind of helps, we see your name, so you don't have to worry about putting your name in the chat window. But please feel free, since we're here for you today, if you want a message, you need an intuitive hit, you need some guidance, you need an ancestor message, go ahead. Here's the fun part about using your words. Put your name and your request in the chat window. So we can serve and do our best. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh,
all right.
There we go. Okay. Should we jump in?
Yeah. It sounds like you want to jump in. You got.
I mean, we have got. I kind of want to. Oh no, see, I'm stuck between two people. Jenny Miller, Miss Stephanie. And by the way, everybody give a round of applause to Stephanie. She's behind the scenes. She's our goddess of suddenly people appearing in the room with us. So I just want to send a Stephanie big love for helping us out, because normally I have to do this by myself and it's so nice to get help. Jenny Miller, if you could bring her in, she's asking for guidance, and I'd like to just start with her. And then we've got a couple after that. So Sheila, will get to you with your mom. Thank you for her date, and her birthday is coming up. That's cool. So.
There she is.
There she is.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. How can we be of service to you today?
I would love some guidance.
Okay.
I'm just open to anything.
Okay. Suzanne, can I start?
Suzanne doesn't do guidance. Suzanne just dead people.
See, Suzanne has a pet name of being called Mad Dog, and I get Mad Dog's bones. When Mad Dog doesn't want the bones, I get these bones. So you get me, Jenny. The first thing I want to do is I want to celebrate the woman that you are. You have a gentleness and a kindness about you, girlfriend, that is absolutely stunning. You're one of those people who is so pure in intention, and you really would absolutely not be able to lie to somebody. You are one of those people that just speaks truth, and who you are is what you are. So thank you for being so transparent. I love your sensitivity. It's extraordinary. Please don't feel, and this is to all the people that are here, because a lot of us are intuitive and have stuff, and sensitivity can feel like it's kind of a crutch sometimes. I just want to say, and since this is an overall guidance question, I just feel like there's a little bit of a path question as far as where you want to go forward with your path. But I also want to tie in relationships, if I can, also with all of this. I think you've in the past attracted people that you took care of more than they took care of you. You've worked on that pattern. You're in a much better space now. So I feel like you've really realized, and you've really started setting a whole bunch of different kind of boundaries about how to be respected, because you found your voice. So I want to give you a huge mwah for doing that, but also trust the fact that the sensitivity let you on that path. Right? So that way you can look back in kindness on the experiences in your childhood that led to the sensitivities that weren't necessarily met in those moments, and find healing and forgiveness with those individuals. Okay. Yeah. I do want to talk about your business path, though, because that's kind of really juicy and exciting for me. I feel like, you could totally do conventional path things, but I don't feel like that's where your passion is at all. You have a beautiful propensity to put ideas in motion. I don't know if you're channeling or journaling, but when you write, you get a different source of information that comes through. Do you understand that? Where it just feels like it's very genuine. And I also feel, and this isn't something I say to everyone, because otherwise it's just not true. You understand the heat that you get in your hands sometimes when you get that, when you want to help somebody, or when you feel like your energy gets up. So let me ask a question. Are you working in any kind of a healing modality, or working on life coaching, or wanting to move in that capacity? Okay, please do this. Please do this. Because for everybody that's here, wouldn't you want somebody like Jenny? Wouldn't you want somebody who's 100% transparent? They're completely themselves. They're going to listen, because the other thing, and you get this from your friends, you're a brilliant listener. You're a better listener than you are a talker. So you needing to take up space, part of your evolution. And I'm still working on that one. So don't worry about where you are. But all I want to say is, the other thing is, you're a perfectionist. So you're one of those people that are hindering yourself because you feel like you've got to figure it all out, or you have to know it now. All I wanted you to do is, John Edward did this for me years ago, which led me to my friendship with Suzanne. But John Edward essentially cattle prodded me into a magnificently uncomfortable moment that I will always be grateful for him. And I didn't know I was ready. So sometimes you need someone kind of giving you a kick in the hiney to help you understand that don't keep waiting, get out there. Yeah. So, and stop comparing, because you do that a lot. And it's good if you use it on a research level, but if you're using it on the level where you're going to be, oh God, they have so much more than I do. Start listing daily your new requirement. Every day you list 3 things about yourself that are unique. And I don't care if it's that your teeth are straight because you got braces when you were younger. It doesn't matter. I want you to celebrate you, because getting you cheerleading on yourself is absolutely going to be the same work you're going to be doing for people. So as you love yourself, you're going to be having new tools and techniques to help other people. And most healers are about 5 minutes ahead of their client. So don't feel that you have to have the entire and everything memorized. You're going to be fine now. So just make yourself uncomfortable, because it gets more uncomfortable as time goes on. Just get out there. Does that help you today?
It does. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. Yeah. And you're a mom, right?
I'm not a mom. I'm a dog mom.
You're a dog mom.
You're a
Okay.
mom.
I felt like you're a mom of some level, so thank you for being a mom.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Jenny, so much.
Hi, Austyn. Bye, Suzanne.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do this person here. I think her name is Anna, but I clicked too quick.
Let me help you, girlfriend. Is it
Anna
connecting with
yes.
with her son?
Yeah, Anna January.
That's Anna January. Suzanne, I'm going to let you go on this one because I know this girlfriend very well.
Okay.
And if I have supplemental information that I don't already know, I'll join in. But I want
Okay.
you to have a moment with Anna because she's awesome.
Okay. Well, that's where they told me to go. So
yeah. And when she says they, notice she has voices in her head, but it's a good thing.
Okay, invited to studio. Oh, she was invited already. Okay, so where is she?
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. It takes a second for people to pop in once we've chosen who the person is.
Yes.
So,
and I have a disability, so
Suzanne,
it's even longer.
So for the people who are developing their intuition, when you go down this, how did you pick her? You said that they told you. So what did you hear?
Yes, they told me. They told. I scrolled down and they just said stop, and I just saw the name January. I just saw January, and that's where they told me to stop. And then I clicked, and then that's it.
Okay. And Anna January, Anna, she's coming to you. So
okay.
It's funny how it takes a second. So and all mediums and intuitives get information differently. So some people hear it. Most people that have intuition have like one ear that they hear stuff from. Like it's always my right ear. So if I have
my left.
It's your right.
No, it's my left.
Oh, it is your left. Sorry, I had to turn around and like do it backwards. But yeah, and that's a good thing to know too.
Yeah.
Just trying to. This is my. I used to be a tram tour guide at Universal Studios, so I'm very keen on when there's gaps, filling the gap with like
jokes.
Jokes.
It's
not a joke. There she is.
There she is.
Woohoo!
Okay, very cool. Hi, Anna. How you doing? Somebody has to unmute. Somebody's muted. There you go. Nope.
I'm sure Stephanie will work on it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Hey Anna, sorry, I'm popping in. It looks like your mic's not connected because it's not muted. Can you make sure your mic is on?
Suzanne,
I know
a little bit about Anna, so why don't you go ahead and
I'll go ahead and do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll validate for you.
So just real quick here. I'm trying to give you like your best Mother's Day gift today. Okay. Because I got the boy, and actually I just spoke to a young son today, so I guess this is my third one for the day. Because once they come to me, then they won't leave me alone for the rest of the day. So there I am. So anyway, I don't get him as a big boy. I get him as a little boy. So I feel like he's a little boy because I feel like he can almost stand where he's standing and puts his arms around you, which is like, that's his thing. Because I got to put my arms around my mom because I got to give her big Mother's Day present that I haven't given her yet this year. Now, and I have to tell you, he says, I got a lot of my mom in me. I even think she looks like me. And he says, so we got a lot of her side of the family really, really, really strong. Now, I got to ask you one other quick question here. Is his father still living? Is his father in the picture? Okay. I just want you to know, because for some reason, he's very happy about that. I can't answer those questions. But now, is he not your only child? Okay. He said, I'm not the only, I'm just the favorite, but we won't go down that road, okay? Because he's being full of himself. But that's the way it always was. And he says, And he's very direct. He doesn't bullshit around. I can't tell you. He's very direct because I'm glad we got rid of him because he's a pain in everybody's ass. I'm just, don't yell at me. I can't help it. I'm from New York. So anyway, that's the deal. So he says, in the process of that, it's helped heal my mommy's heart because my mommy's heart needed an awful lot of healing because there was a lot of holes in her heart. And those are the holes that I used to fill all the time just because I used to hug her and hang out with her and always know when she was sort of sad. He goes, I had an intuitiveness. Now, is it a sister that's left here? Okay, because he says, I visit my sister all the time and let her know that she's not making it up because sometimes when I visit her, she questions me and tell her not to question me. There's something connected to them in the month of April. That's somebody's birthday passing that means a big deal. So he's giving me those dates. Now, is your mom crossed over, Anna? He said, I'm with a grandmother. There's a woman like a grandmother. So it must be an aunt or somebody on your mama's side. Because he said, I'm with her. She's brought me over and we hang out together all the time. He says she plays with me and we have a great, great time. There was somebody in the family who used to play cards. He says, I talk about the card games. So she plays all the card games with me. So we have this great time and I love it. He goes, it's interesting. You don't play cards with my sister anymore. And sometimes she misses it. So I just want to remind you, Mom, that you have to play cards like we used to play. She goes, we used to play, the three of us used to play all the time. But she says, you haven't played with her in a while, so maybe you should start thinking about that or doing some games, he says. Now, I got to ask you this, are you near water somewhere? No? Okay. Why would he talk about water being a big deal somewhere? Did we spend time by the water? Did you go take him to the water? Was the beach? He's showing me water for some reason. I guess she'd write in the palm spot. I guess she's right into the comments.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm not getting it. So anyway, unless somebody else is getting it, I'm not getting it. Anyway, he says the water is really a big deal. He goes, I still hang out there, but he says, I think you need to take more walks there, Mom. He says, I think you need to take more walks there because he said
Michigan, just to let you know.
What?
She said Lake Michigan.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Wherever it is, he says, that was my heart. There's memories. He goes, I want you to have those memories again, Mom. He goes, because sometimes we don't do that because there's too much memories. But he goes, but I had such a good time. I had such a good time. Now I have to ask you this, please. There's a dead dog at my feet. He says, Mom, I'm with the dog. He said, I'm with the doggy. Okay. Was that his dog? Was that the family's dog? Whose dog was that? Yes. He says, we're keeping each other company. And he says, tell my sister not to feel sad because he says, we're not alone because we're hanging out together, me and the dog. Okay. It's the one with the floppy ears, specifically the one with the floppy ears. Angel must have another one, but it's the one with the floppy ears. But he says, we're having a great time. He says, I don't want you to ever think I'm alone because I'm never alone. He says, I got lots of friends here. Now, I'm going to give you a real quick question here. He says, Mama, you got a really, really good friend that you've met within the last year and a half who lost her daughter. He said she lost her daughter. And you got to know her or she knows somebody that you know. It's within the last year and a half. And I think it was a quick passing. I think it was a vehicle or something. He says, you know about her through some groups or somebody in the group. She said, there's somebody in the group. And he says, tell her the daughter's playing with me. And there's an M name like a Mary or a Maria or something like that that's tied in with them. But this is recorded and you can find out. I don't think you know her really well. I think you met her in a group. Do you go groups? Okay. So it's in one of your groups. So it's new. I think it's new. All right. Because she said she wants her mommy to know because she's very sad. And somebody told her that, I don't know why, somebody told her she shouldn't do this. I don't understand, but you know that. You'll know what I mean. But she's in a group. Okay? Okay, now mommy says, he says, I'm going to celebrate Mother's Day with you. And he says, I'm bringing my toys. I don't know what toys he's talking about. But he said, I'm bringing my toys. You would know what he means. okay? The toys we used to play with. He says, I'm bringing the toys. And tell my sister she could play with my toys. I don't care. Okay. I want to say one other quick thing. He said, we lived a short life together, but it was a wonderful one. And the thing I want to tell you more than anything else is that I love my mommy because my mommy let me do anything I wanted to do, even if it looked dangerous. He says you know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes mothers are very protective and they don't want us to do certain things. Like they close their eyes when we're like jumping off a cliff or whatever, you know. And he said, he said you let him do that. And that was one of the reasons that he picked you, because you allowed him to be free. You're very welcome. Okay.
Thank you,
Nope.
Suzanne.
You're welcome.
Suzanne, I was drawn to, I've got a couple of people that I was, so she hears, I hear, but I'm also looking in the chat window and I get like pulled. Mediums sometimes get like a solar plexus that kind of, and what it is, I always see it like a line of light from my soul to someone else's. So Steph, could we please bring Miss Joanne Kemple in, please? And Suzanne, she wishes to connect with her mother and her grandmother, both named Mary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are we doing a duel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The banjos, man. Let's get in there.
Okay.
I love you, Angie. That was the nicest thing. I have such nice people. It's really sweet. Lori, I'm sending you so much love. I'm just going to talk to Lori until Joanne comes in. Lori Doherty, and I think I pronounced it correctly. She said, since the passing of my mom and my dad, I feel like I have no family left. Sorry. Though I have siblings, I am estranged. I feel so alone in this world, and I want to hear from my parents so much. Okay, Lori, I'm hoping we get to you after we get to Joanne. I totally get that. There's a really different thing that happens when your parents pass, where all of a sudden you are disenfranchised. And if your siblings aren't your people, and I want to reframe it this way, think about it differently. They're just not your people. You've become a certain version. There was what feels like to be kind of a low ceiling in your family as far as being able to be expansive and be free. So now you have a moment in your life, or it's a little bit of a low ceiling with your siblings. So I think it's an opportunity. What I did when I had a whole bunch of things end in my life is I decided to move. I moved to a place where I knew no one. No one. I had a client here. I bought a house that I liked and I just moved because I knew if I didn't put myself in a place that was uncomfortable, I wouldn't reach out. I wouldn't do more. And I have to say, as frightening as it was, I got a complete update on who I've become. And it made me realize I'm much stronger than I thought. And a whole bunch of mythology I'd been carrying around in my head was just wrong. And so what it did was it required me to be present in the moment and to just do my stuff. So I'm hoping we get to you. But I just want to say it is a dig deep time. But what I would do is if you feel like that mom and dad support was so crucial to you, spend a little bit of time of looking what community you want to build and where that community might be. And if it doesn't exist where you are, find where some thread of connection is and get yourself there.
Yeah.
Because it's with the astrology that's going on right now, the 5 outer planets, the ancestor planet, all of the generational planets, which means all the planets that affect all of us,
everybody, mm-hmm.
Which is Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. They're called generational because it's not just one lifetime, it's like multiple lifetimes.
Yes,
They've all moved from water and earth to air and fire, which is why since the beginning of January and for the next 2 years, things are going to start happening like this.
Yep.
So everyone, please don't put yourself remind yourself that everything is occurring to help you grow and evolve. It's not happening to you. If you put yourself in the to you part, it kind of victimizes you, and that takes all the fun out of it all. You may not have the answer today, but I promise you, within you is a seed of something that's becoming. And it's an invitation for you to just kind of see what happens.
Absolutely. Yep. That's true.
Yeah, because fire and air just move fast. It's like
Yeah,
the fire.
well, we know what happens once air hits the fire.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, ask anybody that's doing the wildfires. That's the thing that they're most freaked out is when the air is out there, when there's winds.
Yeah.
You know, that's how fast.
Stephanie, is she coming in? We're hoping.
Okay.
So Joanne Kemple, white courtesy telephone, please. I don't know what else to do. Should we move on to, is she coming in? Yes, Steph?
No.
I invited her a few times. I start her. If she comes in, we can just put her in the back studio. And
okay.
But
Suzanne, do you have someone you want to connect with?
Let's see here.
Possible.
Where did I see this person?
Oh, I can do this. You love this game. You always give me phone numbers. Do you want to connect with Eva or Anne?
Do you have a phone number?
Oh, you're hilarious. Eva wants to talk with her mother-in-law, and Anne wants to talk with her son Jesse, who passed at 31.
That's a tough call. We have Anna's son still here. I can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
So let's do her son.
Okay, could you please bring in Ann Cole? Everybody, thank you so much for your patience. I really appreciate it so much.
I really appreciate it. Because these guys are a little better at the tech than I am. I have the disability.
I love Julie's question. What advice would my mom give me on raising my boys? Julie, I love that question.
Oh.
That's such a beautiful question.
I can give you that question.
Can we always use help with those kind of things?
Well, she must
You're
get
so,
three.
God, Julie, your sons are so different. You're at the
there must be three. There's three, unless she's counting herself as a three.
Okay.
So yeah.
Julie, can you type Julie Duke? Can you type into the chat window? I'm getting 2. Are there 3 or 2 boys?
I get 3. Maybe there's 3 siblings or 3 siblings. Something.
I like. She chimed in at 3:33, so it's probably 3, right? Julie, 2 or 3 boys.
Unless it's 3 children, huh?
Now I'm starting to get lost here. Shoot. It was Julie we were talking to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 3 boys. Hey. Hey. Okay.
That's why you're getting the difference. The 2 are very different than the 1.
Yeah.
It's either an age thing or an energy thing or an emotional thing or whatever it is. But I want to talk to her about her youngest boy. I don't know if there's 2 J's or G's and J's, but there's definitely part of those in the name, in the middle name, part of whatever it is, are passed down, because I'm seeing the James and John. What are those passed down on your side of the family, Julie? Not your dad, not their dads. Your side of the family. Well, your name is a J too. So that's probably why I'm getting all these J names. But one of the things I want to say about you with this younger man, this younger boy, I would be shocked if he's not into music or art, or one or the other, or something very creative.
It's Jonathan, Jeffrey, and Andrew. And the one that
go.
you're connecting to, the youngest one, I think, is Andrew. She did them in
order. Okay.
In
Got
order.
it. I was going to say, because I knew there's more than one J, because that's why I'm hearing it. But let me just say, there's something about the younger boy. It's very artistic. Now, in this world of tech and everything, that could mean that. But I definitely provide him with that, because it's really important. And I don't know why. I would be shocked that this kid doesn't love music, though. And I would say
he wants to be a pilot.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, that could fall into the area of artistic stuff, because you're being creative. You're flying all the way around here.
Joanne Kemple is here. Thank you.
Oh, there she is. Is that before or is it somebody else?
No, it's Joanne. She just doesn't have a camera on, but I believe she's or maybe
Okay.
she's working on it.
Okay.
She's coming in. There she is. Da, da, da. Hi, Joanne.
Hello, how are
Oh,
you?
I can hear you. I'm so excited. Okay, so her and Julie, thank you very much for letting us dovetail out, and we'll probably come back. So Suzane, Joanne's mother and her mother-in-law, two very different women, by the
Very
way,
different. Night and day different.
are both named Mary, and she was hoping that she could connect to both of them.
Okay.
Actually, it's my grandmother, Mary.
Yes, grandmother. Oh, grandmother Mary, but your mother Mary also. Yes.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so is that your mom's mom?
Yes.
Okay. Who had the stroke in the family? Who couldn't move? Somebody has a problem moving, a real lot of problem moving. I don't know if it was parts of their body or something, unless it was to their brain at the end, but I feel like something shut down.
My mom.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So does that mean she couldn't communicate or I mean, I feel like I'm
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And I have to tell you something. That was intensely difficult for her. Intensely. I mean, she was a gabber. She was a gabber. This was not somebody that just sat in the corner and didn't talk. It's like she was a gabber. So it was like that part of her brain that was not operating must have been extremely, extremely frustrating. Not to mention the fact she was very smart. I'd be shocked if she didn't do crossword puzzles or read books or whatever it is, because that is just how her linear brain operated. So when that was not operating, that was the deal. And she said, you have a lot of her brain, so you must be a very smart young woman.
Oh my God.
And my mother had 11 children.
Oh my God.
So that she couldn't talk to any of us.
No wonder.
No.
That makes a lot of sense.
But Joanne, your mother is like a force of nature. Like,
yes.
like
well,
she
you have to be with that.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Well, not everybody is, but she's opinionated and she's like work, man. She's work. Now, what I love is your grandmother is a very different woman. Your grandmother has the first thing I'm really drawn to with your grandmother is this sense of spirituality about her. Like, I feel like she has a very, very deep sense of faith inside of her. And she really has the ability to kind of let other people take center stage. So she has nurturing in profound levels. She probably would have had to be with your mom because your mom is very different than her mother. Like, these are like two totally different people. But I also know, am I correct that your grandmother had a sense of dementia or a sense of memory loss prior to her passing?
Where she didn't. She did
so you're
not.
picking up the mom, because that's the thing that I got with her mom right away about the whole mental thing.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds more like my mother-in-law. She had the dementia.
That would
that
would be absolutely fine if mother-in-law is coming in as well.
Yeah.
And your mother-in-law is a very strong woman as well.
Yes.
So it's like, and I have to say, you did very well with her. Your mother-in-law has a certain level of possession about her son, where she's like, not everybody is good for her son. And the thing is that what I appreciate is you won that woman over. You didn't, and maybe due respect to your mom kind of gave you practice on like being patient with people a little bit. But your mother-in-law, like she's not an emotional communicator at all. But you have this amazing ability to like meet people where their strengths are. You're magnificently mutable in that way, and sensitive and intuitive and all the other beautiful things. But it's really where your mutability meets well. And it's why you have so many friends, because you have this ability to not need to be, and it's probably because you experienced your mom so much, but your mom like needed to be focal attention a lot of times. And so what it did was require you to kind of, and it could have been the fact that you had lots of brothers and sisters, but like, you know how to get along with everybody. But I give you a lot of credit with your mother-in-law, because I know that there wasn't a time for your mother-in-law. I feel like there was like missed opportunities for sure with her to communicate with your husband, and to especially have like loving relations there. She had very high expectations, and I think that affected your husband long term as far as like the man that he is and who he is. But what I love about you and him is that you have a really beautiful way of being a cattle prod. There's a little mom there, but you also do it with loving kindness and a really beautiful degree of care.
Thank you.
You're a really good girl.
Who's David?
David. Don't know a David. No, sorry.
I don't know if he's here or crossed over.
No, don't know a
I
David.
think he's connected to your husband. You married?
I'm widowed.
I think he's connected to your husband.
Okay. I don't know.
It doesn't feel like it's family. It might have been somebody like family. It's got to be David, Donald, David. It's one of those. It's very strongly David, Donald, or Daniel. It's very strong.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
It's not
Your husband wasn't a smoker, was he?
Oh, yes, he was.
I know I got the right dude. I see him puffing away, and he goes, "Boy, am I loving my cigarettes now." I can smoke as much as I want and not die. He's got a sick sense of humor, doesn't he?
Yes, very dry.
Joanne, I just want to touch him with your husband for a second.
Thank you.
He's a little bit of a tough nut.
Yes.
He needs to be right most of the time. And thank God you had lots of brothers and sisters to be able to figure out how to kind of stay in the game. The thing about him, though, he trusted you like no one else on the planet. Mm-hmm. Now, he gives me the impression that he didn't always honor that trust to the degree that he should have. Would you understand that? And I'm not going to get into any kind of details or anything like that, because that's just history. But all I want you to know from him, because he was not one to speak from his heart always, although when he did, gosh, he was so good, right? He could be so endearing and so childlike, because that was the place of his, like, that's where his heart got left, was like in early years for him. So when he went to that vulnerable place, it was breathtaking. But anyway, he kind of has this exoskeleton of like, whoosh. So he's used to being abandoned, and he never got over that story. So if you ever tried to talk to him emotionally, he would not really enjoy the conversation. And you were always, I just want to emphasize this, you were always coming from love with him. Now he's the one, because you know how he is personal space when he's frustrated about something. It's like there's no space. He's like, he wants me to get like super close to the camera. I'm like, stop it. But he's not subtle. But what he wants you to understand is that you changed his life. And you stayed with him when most people would have left. He doesn't want you to he wants you to understand that what you gave him was an awareness that he could be loved. He says, the only thing I didn't agree to in that arrangement was that I got on board with it. It was true. So I feel like he tested you over and over and over again. And I just want you to know he knows now. He knows now that he missed the opportunity of you. So please know from the depth of his soul that you are amazing and beautiful. And he really wants to underline beautiful, because he could be catty and kind of snarky sometimes with the stuff that he would say, but that he gets how lucky he was. But he exited this world, so there would be opportunity for you to love differently. So whatever transpired there, you finished the karma. Now it's your turn to like love and trust the fact of how beautiful you are.
Yeah, thank you, because I am starting my second life and I'm loving it.
Awesome. Well, it should kind of feel like you got out of solitary confinement, and you can actually see the hills and nature and go like, yay. So congratulations on all of it, because like you're extraordinary. You have so much capacity to love. And just okay, I just have one other thing to say and then I'll finish. I don't know how else to say this. Can I embarrass you a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yes,
You love physical intimacy, girl. Don't fall into other. Don't get in any mythology other in your head. Go out there and just like get some business.
That's a
never
good way of
thought
wording
about
it.
reading
I-
in my
That's a
life.
good way of wording it.
But all I want to say is like, and as a woman who has just stepped into her 60s, I want to say there's nothing about like it just gets better.
Oh, I agree.
So,
Because I'm
yeah,
getting it,
so-
girl.
So go out there and just, like love your life.
She's
man.
making up for lost time.
I am making up for lost time.
Woo! Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
You're
Appreciate
welcome,
it.
Miss Joanne.
And
Have a
happy
wonderful
Mother's
day.
Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah,
Thank
happy Mother's Day to you too, Joanne.
you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Okay.
Okay.
Suzanne, we have Lori Doherty. Did I
Okay.
say your name right, Lori?
It's
Is that correct?
Doty.
What is it?
Doty.
Doty, not
Doty.
Doherty. Doty. Okay. So Suzanne, Lori's mother and father have both passed. So let's see where we want to start.
Well, I'll start.
Go.
Okay. So let me real quick here. Lori, do you have a brother?
Yes.
I assume he's still here.
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to go backwards. Are you one of two or two more, please? I want to make sure I got that right.
Well, there's 4 of us.
Okay.
Siblings.
Oh, so 2 and 2. There's a reason I'm getting these numbers.
3 girls, 1 boy.
Okay. So when your mother said brother, that she may have been making reference because he was the only boy. I'm going to gather that. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And are you connected to him?
Not really.
There's a
little
reason
bit.
she's bringing this up. You got to understand there's a reason she's bringing
Yeah.
this up.
Oh, yeah. No, it makes sense.
Okay. So what I want to sort of say to you is this, is that for some reason, she's chosen you. I know you got 2 other siblings, but she's chosen you because I don't know if this is a personality thing with him or he's got, he's a pain in the ass. I can't answer any of those questions because that's what your mom is saying to me. Because being the only boy, he was, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Very much so.
I don't need to say any more than that. And so with that, what he's done, and the expression that he's cut his nose off to cut his face, right? And
Big
so
time.
yes, and this is on him, but I'm going to use like what we talked about earlier, or when I think Austyn talked about it earlier, is that it's a lonely life. And sometimes when we do that, we cut our nose off to spite our face. We create a lonely life, and he's created this, but he doesn't know how to get himself out of it.
Right.
Okay. I never tell people what they shouldn't do. That's not my job. I'm just passing on the information. And the reason I want to say I'm passing on the information is because it is Mother's Day coming up. And I know he was particularly very close to your mom. And I know it's bringing up an awful lot of stuff. And I think that he's got himself locked in a cage and doesn't know how to get himself out of. So sometimes it's nice to just give a call, give a chat. It's Mom's Day. Was thinking about you. He can take it from there. But sometimes it just needs a sliver of that door open. I don't see your other sisters doing it, to be honest with you. So I think there's one's extremely angry with him. And the other one is going with the others. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
You seem to be the one that's either more forgiving, more compromise, whatever it is, because she said you always did that in the family. That was your job. What can I say?
Yeah.
And then when it's our job, it's our job. And, but I'm not, it's like we can either forgive him and work with him or let him, live the rest of his life this way, which would be pretty sad. Really would. Because he's inept in a lot of ways. But I'm not telling you what you don't know. But because your mom is bringing this up, and she goes, well, maybe it would be a Mother's Day present or whatever that's about. And she says, you are more than beyond capable of doing that. All right. And I'm going to do one other excerpt here. I know that you have 3 sisters, and I know that you have 1 brother, but your father's telling me that you and him were very close. So you were a bit of daddy's girl. So the fact that your brother might have had his thing, but your father had you. So I don't know about the other ones in the middle, but I'm just saying you knew what it was like to have, to have somebody love you like your dad did. And, and it was like, it was no knowledge in the house, by the way. It was like mixed words. No, Lori's my girl. That's what it is. He didn't mix words. And so you got that in a way, and your brother got that. I don't know what happened with your sisters, and I think you're cool with them, but I do know that you've been able to work with it better than he has, because you bring people into your life, because that's who you are.
Right.
Okay. I want to ask one other quick thing here. You're not a teacher, are you?
No, not really. No.
Okay. Not by trade, but do you do something like that in your life?
I mean, I'm always trying to help people. So kind of in that way, I try to help.
It's the same. It's in the same category of helping.
Yeah.
That's what it is, because you did get that from your mom, because she was that way too. She'd bring up the starving cats on the streets. But I'm just saying that you have that, and you have the need to do that, as whether you do it professionally or not. You don't have to do it for money. You can do it because that's who you are. So
Right.
there you go. And one last quick thing here. I see music around you too.
Music.
Yeah. You listen to it? Do you love it?
Not really. I don't, but I used to. Oh, my dad, he had an amazing voice. Oh,
I rest my case. Thank you. It's got to be your father talking to me, because I kept saying, like, why are you not listening to music? I raised you with you. I mean, you knew it from me. Duh.
And he also had a beautiful record collection, correct?
I don't know so much about it. I think he probably did have some. Yeah. And I'm so sad that there's no recordings of him. He actually recorded something just independently once, but there's nowhere to find it.
Yeah.
And I just wish I had.
Well, obviously he's letting you know that and that's his identification of coming through. So, sometimes we don't have those things. I get it. We lose them, and that's what it is. Just take it in that he's letting you know that he knows.
Can I just say one quick thing before we let you go? I also want to celebrate your relationship with your mom, though. Like, I know you were close with your dad, but you also really worked on your relationship with your mom and had closeness with your mom as well. And she wants to recognize that when everything was divvied out amongst all of you, that you have one sister of yours who kind of took a little bit more than everybody else. Do you understand that?
Oh my God, so much. Yes.
Yeah. And so your mom, and I really love your mom, because she's not like, she's just like, she took a little more. And like, what I'm seeing is like, she just exited with it, and it wasn't discussed. And the thing is that it's kind of that sister's way of doing things. She's a little self-centered. She's kind of got that stuff going on. So your mother is very proud of the fact, because you have some pieces, and your mom kind of talks about you as the archivist of the family. So she talks about you having some china or a plate that's very significant. So like, you have these individualized little things, but they're extraordinarily meaningful to you. And she just wants to say she knows that it means everything to you. So it isn't so much about bulk, but that sister wasn't respectful to you, and your mother and your father are both kind of, it's funny when they observe things like that. They're not angry about it. That's a human emotion, but they would hopefully expect more from. But what they're most proud of is how you handled it.
Right.
Now,
and that's why they said.
You're not one to speak up and tell everybody what you need, so we can work on that maybe a little bit. But you're also the one that gets along with everybody, because you don't go to anger as quickly as everybody else, sibling-wise. So I understand why it's kind of walking on your eggshells with them a bit.
And that's why your mom said you would be the one to deal with the brother, not the other ones. Now, that's why she said that specifically, because you would be the one that could do it. Like, you wouldn't be the one that would got angry. You would let it go, and you would do what needed to get done. That's why you were chosen, so to speak. Yeah.
But Lori, I get nothing but, and this is rare, because a lot of times there's a lot of unfinished business. But I really feel, especially from your mom, that there's an awareness that there wasn't always this huge amount of emotional energy and sharing with her always. But what she wants to share with you is she could always count on you to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Always.
Thus
And
your
that
brother.
means more to her now in witnessing what she's kind of calling the cacophony of everything else that's happening in the family, is that she always could rely on you. And she says, you know, she's kind of talking to me about it. And she's like, Austyn, you know, those are the ones you don't talk to as much because you know you can rely on them. You tend to focus more energy on the people that are being difficult. So your mom is just realizing there was an inequity in the amount of energy that she sent your way. And she just wants you to know she loves you very much.
Wow.
That's why she chose you to talk to your brother, because you knew you'd want to be one that could do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Mom just didn't always speak that way. And even the relationship with your dad, you know, your dad wasn't a verb. He wasn't, you know, like a big, I love you, I love you, I love you guy. You could feel it with your father. So a lot of the energy in your family is like you intuited it. Like you knew that they loved you. You just didn't always hear it. But that one sister of yours is just work. And
Yes.
the thing is that like my heart goes out to her because she doesn't love herself. And if a person
Right.
doesn't love themselves, they have a really hard time accepting love from other people. And she's just, she's kind of like just perpetually disappointed. And I kind of want to just go, well, is that working for you though? Because you're just sad all the time and mad. So we'll send her some love.
Yeah. That obviously was the one that she was talking about. That, well, forget about that one.
Yeah.
But now we know why that she eliminated the one out of the three.
Yeah. But I just also hear move. So like if you are feeling like, because sometimes there's a difficulty when our parents pass and we're like, oh, but this is the only place I've known. You know, if I can be, like I said earlier, you know, I cattle prodded myself into a new moment. And it sometimes is the best thing to do because I promise you'll really find out quickly who you've become. And I think we don't update our software frequently enough.
I've thought about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just saw this big move, you know, like with a cow move. So
Except for you don't have to move to cow country, Lori. Don't worry about that. There's other places you could go besides cow country.
I love cows. That's okay.
Then maybe that move is symbolic. Maybe it's somewhere around cows.
Yeah.
Lori, I'm so glad you popped on.
Oh my gosh. You, everything you guys have said has just resonated so deeply, profoundly deep. And can I just say real quickly, this morning, when shortly after I got up, I sat down with my cup of coffee, I sat on the couch, and I just had this rush of something's going to happen today. I didn't even know about this until I saw my email an hour later. And so
Lori, do you feel the tingles right now on your legs and the back of your head and your arms?
I do.
That's them.
Yeah.
That's them. All they're trying to do is let you know, because I think when we get sad about stuff, we sometimes don't feel them being around.
Yeah.
So all that is they're blending with your nervous system and just kind of they're like hugging you energetically. That's what that chill is.
Oh, wow.
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, God, thank you so much. Oh, what you've done for me today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh.
It's our joy.
It's our joy. That's what we do. That's what we do well.
So take it as a huge sign from them that it's okay to be feeling what you're feeling and just go, okay, I need a new community, and just get out there, figure it out. You can do it. You can do it. And it might be the best thing that's ever happened to you is disenfranchise yourself from who you have been defined as and discover who you are right now.
That sounds so appealing.
Right? Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So real quick, we're at the top of the hour. I want to remind everybody that I am doing a live Mother's Day event in WXLO in Massachusetts, which I haven't done in a long time, this Thursday. And for all you, I saw a couple of Massachusetts folks and come to it. Do you have anything quick you want to mention that you got coming up like in the next
yes,
days?
I have a retreat in Palm Springs the end of May. I have a new class I'm going to be announcing. My website is austynwells.com. You can see it right here spelling wise, and I can't do that at all. And there's things on my site, and
Right. And I have my own Mother's Day show next Monday after I do XLO. So we're very busy with the Mother's Day because we love doing the Mother's Day, and God knows it's a very important time. Whether you like them, didn't like them, have things about them, all of the I say some of the greatest motions that we've invented in life all come connected to mothers, one way or another. So thank you, Ms. Wells, as always.
You are so welcome. This was such a joy. Thank you.
Like
And
I said,
by the
we missed
way,
it last year.
everybody, thank you so much for holding such beautiful space for everybody. I promise you, Suzanne and I would have loved to have connected with more people, but thank you so much for being here. And hopefully something that was said or you're feeling better, take a couple of moments when we finish and just kind of sit with how you feel and just tell your loved ones to bring some love in and see what happens.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yay.
Yay.